Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Welcome guys to my first Warcraft 3 guide. For the Human against Undead race, we had a donation goal on my stream and we achieved it. And for that reason I will be doing this guide and hopefully provide you with some kind of insights so that I help you to overcome some kind of sticking points in your Human against Undead matchup. I will also analyze like the Undead part of the whole thing, so I guess also the Undead players will have quite some nice information from this kind of tutorial or guide. And after that we will also have like some kind of section where I will show you some do's and don'ts for this matchup and continue with the closing of this video. So first of all, I would like to tell you what's about to expect from this video. We will jump into one of the replays from Yumiko against Yalone. Yalone is one of the Chinese Undead players that used to be really good, and I saw a few replays of him playing against several Undead players, human players, and he used to be like really good there. He also managed to win Yumiko on several maps, and Yumiko is one of the top players or one of the top remaining players. So I chose this replay instead of one of the replays that I could like bring to the table, because most of my opponents don't really go for the strategy kind of thing that Candy Overload was looking for. It's like the strategy where the Undead goes for Fiends, adds a few statues, and after that with the Lich goes for the Meat Wagon and pushes your expansion down. For that reason I was looking for a replay where we actually see this kind of strategy on a really small map. Candy Overload was like explaining to me that he is struggling against Undead on maps like Echoites, Last Refuge, and also on Melting Valley. These are the maps where it's like quite common to go for this kind of meat wagon push, and for that reason I was thinking about a game that will in detail show us this kind of strategy and that I can analyze for you guys and give you some insights. So first of all, I think we will take a look at the Last Refuge, because this will be the map that we will be looking at in a few seconds. For that I will show you the map quickly. We see here this is a two-player map with two starting points. One player will start at the red cross, and one at the blue cross, and then you have like several creep camps that I will explain you in detail as soon as we jump into the replay. So for that course I would like to jump in the replay now. Let's go into the replay. There we go. One sec, I have to adjust my Warcraft real quick. So we are in the game right now. As you can see, before everything happens, this is a replay, it's not live content. I will disable the fog of war to explain you what actually is happening here. So first of all, we have the blue human player here, Yumiko. He will go for some kind of strat that we will later discuss. But first of all, I would like to show you the camp. So this is his main base. As a human player, it's really important to know like what's to expect from the creep camp. So first of all, this is your main base. We can see on the minimap, here's one camp, here's another camp, and here's your natural expansion. We also have like a laboratory here and a shop, mercenary shop on this side, Goblin and Merchant. First of all, you can go for different kind of strats. So this is like the smallest camp close to your base. You have an Ogre Warrior and two of the Trappers, which won't give you level 2. Then we also have like this kind of camp here, the mercenary camp, where we have a rock golem. We also have the muddy kind of guy, the crazy guy we all love in the door. He slows, and we also have this troll priest that also heals his creeps and uses inner fire on some of the creeps, so they get a lot of armor and get healed. It's not the worst camp, but it's quite hard to creep, I would say. Even for beginners, bring some malicious and footmen, water elementals. This is not really easy. But with the mercenary camp, you can get additional mercenaries like the troll berserker and also the troll priest there, and they're a really nice addition to your army. This camp actually gives you a level 2 and a little bit more of experience. Then we have the natural expansion here with 10,000 gold. This is the expansion you're looking for, that you want to take to gain like some gold advantage, some economical advantage, and then transition into some army advantage later on. This Ogre Magi with the two Trappers doesn't give you level 2. You need at least one of these guys here, one of the Murloc Huntsmen that are close by. But on the other side we also have a really short distance from the Undead main to the natural expansion of your choice. So first of all, these are the creep camps that we expect to see. We also see this laboratory that I mentioned before. You're not really able to creep that, even though the Ogre Magi gives you a really nice item. You shouldn't really aim for creeping that early on. The laboratory is important because you can get a shredder, and the shredder gives you the ability to get a lot of wood without building tons of workers. and he just takes 4 supply, and all the workers that you could produce take at least 1 supply. So from the Undead player, this is like the perspective that you get. Usually what you want to do is like get your fast decay, you want the Death Knight really fast to go and creep jack or at least steal some creeps here. Maybe you can steal this Forest Troll Trappers when you're here, because you cannot really coil this Golem and you cannot coil Muddy for sure. Maybe even get some Malicious when he's creeping that. You take a lot of damage, and for sure if you're using Militia to creep that, you're not like gaining lumber, and for not harvesting lumber your expansion gets delayed. So this is pretty much the map that we have seen. I guess we will start at the speed of 1 and I'll try to explain what's going on here. For the human player, this is like typical kind of style that you go for. First of all, you choose the altar because you want to have the hero as soon as you can. You could also get for the really fast altar, but you're not going for that on this map because there's no creep camp that you would go like really hard on and really fast, because there's no real advantage like in Twisted Meadows where you get your 2 minute experience maybe. So for that reason you go for the standard build order. For the Undead player we see something that is really interesting here. He's building his cigarette quite in front of his base. I actually remind that of Hazuop, the German Undead player, used to do this in the EPS. This enables you to get a Frost Tower in a really nice position, because this is like the angle you can approach to go to the main. Otherwise you have to go all the way through the middle here, and approach the Undead base from this side. And even though you approach from this side, this Frost Tower still gives you some really nice protection because it has a really nice range. Plus what you can do here is you can use this Frost Tower to creep this camp later on and be able to go for the laboratory, where as well the Orgamagi could drop like a Book of Dead on something. This is a really great spot for the Undead player to do, and together with the Zeppelin that you can get, your mid-ranks are really safe and it's super annoying for the human. For the human, Yumiko is aiming to get like his Mountainking real quick. You could also go for the Archmage. I will pause here, because Mountainking tells you a different story than the Archmage. If you go for the Mountainking, your strategy or your creep route should be a little bit different from the one that you would use when you go for the Archmage. When you use the Mountainking, you usually go for this little camp here. I quickly explain that, because you will only need like 2 to 4 militias to creep this, together with your 2 footmen that you will already have in the Mountainking. And then you let all the rest of your workers lumber wood, so that you have a really nice bank of wood to start expanding as soon as you have like 3, 4 or 5 footmen. So this is the kind of strategy you would aim for. You go for this camp, then you stay tuned, stay ready here in this kind of location or in this kind of location. Try to surround the DK with the power of your footmen and also with your Mountainking. Get enough lumber so that you can expand and then continue to creep this here with like 5, 6, 7 militias, all your footmen and your Mountainking. If he jumps by with 1 or 2 fiends and his DK, just go for it, quickly surround him, or just pay attention to the creep that they will not get coiled and you at least get level 2 out of that. So we will continue the replay real quick. What we already see from the Undead player, which is always a good thing, is the Acolyte Scout, because you want to know which hero you will be facing off in the next kind of minutes, and for that it's really important to scout. We also see in the Nerubian Tower there will be a Frost Tower already, because he knows that there could be like some kind of aggression going on. Sometimes human players send out the first kind of footmen to the Undead to harass the Acolytes, and by building this Frost Tower really early on you prevent that totally. So the first footman found the Acolyte, is chasing it a little bit. You also get like the Scout Tower for the Airkin Tower. Yeah, he's building that right now. You have 3 farms. He's pulling a few militias here, aiming to go for the... he's faking like this kind of mercenary camp creep, because he was pulling quite some militias. He doesn't really need that many, I guess. You could go for 4 militia, that should be enough, but he's getting 5 right now. So the Undead first of all is thinking, okay, I killed a sheep here, I can use my rod. He's not using it so far, he can only also use it here. And the human is pulling back his militias. In the meantime, he's lumbering wood with the remaining ones. It could have been like 1 or 2 more, because he didn't really need that many for the small creep camp there. And yeah, he's getting additional footmen. As we can see, already got 3 footmen, building the 4th. The Undead player is staying around. Don't get too close to the Mountainking, and always have 2 skeletons on the field. So if you get bolted, you'd use the skeletons to actually prevent the surround. Even though it's really hard to surround with like 3 footmen and a Mountainking, it's still possible. So just scout with 1 skeleton and stay close by like he's doing it right now. In the main base of the Undead he's tacking with 1 ziggurat only, which gives you like no fiend until minute like 4 or 5, but still enables you to have a really fast tack here. So they both are doing what I kinda told you. He's gathering footmen, producing more militia, more workers in his base, and right now he decides he got enough footmen. He got like 4 here, 5th footman coming, and he is already calling the police. We have 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 militias, 3 still on wood, and what we can see here, he got 250 wood, which is completely fine for the expansion to build and also get a tower in time. And for that he decides to, okay, I got enough, my bank is big enough, I can go for this expansion. Undead not having a single fiend yet. Oh, the first one just came out of the crypt, the second one is queued, and the ziggurat is about to finish there. And now the human starts creeping this. And the Undead knows, with the small amount of unit that he has, it's really dangerous to go for the versus the militias, but not to go versus the footmen, because he can easily be surrounded. Fiends can be easily surrounded, and also the DK could be surrounded. So for that reason, and also for the part of the strategy that he will be using later, he's aiming to creep this here really fast, together with the force of the Nerubian tower. He's able to slow this kind of creeps and attack them here. And he has not really to go here, so the creeps go back and forth, back and forth. They don't do as much DPS as they would be if they're standing on here. But the human, as you know that the Undead is not up to some action right now, he's not harassing him. He wants to check what he's up to, and we can pause here real quick. Because usually what he could have done is like dive. But he got a lot of footmen, he could feel like really strong. He's like, okay, my Mountain King got full mana, I got like all my footmen together, I could easily surround 1 or 2 fiends. And the Undead player, what did he get? He got like 2 fiends, 2 ghouls, no rod of necromancy, and no skeletons out there, because he's actually using his skeletons to like try to send them to the expansion, and then the human has to follow, because if these 4 skeletons arrive at your expansion, at least like 2 or 3 peasants die. What we can see for the human main, he got like 6 workers on the lumber and is not producing anymore. He's at 35 out of 36 supply. And yeah, what I do sometimes on my stream, and which I wouldn't recommend you, because it's like a really bad thing to do, and I would put this thing in the don't section. Don't dive. Don't pass this tower and get slowed, because 2 fiends without you having defend is a really strong, not really strong army, but it's a strong enough army to at least like get 2 or 3 of your footmen really quick and kill them with coil. He also got a lot of mana, so as soon as you dive, you will try to focus your footmen, and I think it's not totally worth it to dive there. So for that reason, always stay out of range of these towers, and instead of going there, try to creep yourself. Maybe get this creep, maybe get this creep, maybe even send like 1 footman in this position, so you see when the Undead player comes this way, and send one footman in this position, so you can see like where he is coming from, and in the meantime you can easily creep this, creep the mercenary camp, or whatever you want to do. But Yumiko decided on the other side to go for the aggression, because he knows that Yalone will be up to these tactics. And for Yalone, this creep is really important, so that he will be able to get the Zeppelin later on. I will continue the replay right now, and we will see what's about to happen here. Human has to follow the skeletons, he leaves them. Let's look in the base. Right now, this is also an important moment. He got enough footmen. He got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 footmen right now, and he knows that there will be fiends, and he will be up against fiends and most likely a slaughterhouse real soon, and for that reason he's getting the defense upgrade, and because of enough lumber, like enough workers on lumber, he's able to do so. So it's really important to have enough footmen, plus you need the defense. Not right now, but he really need it later, and for the reason that he can stop like pumping units out right now, because he got enough, he's be able to research the defense upgrade. So we continue the replay. The Undead retreats from this spot, because he knows it's really dangerous for him, and Yumiko dives through the tower, because the creep attacks the tower right now, the tower attacks the creep right now, surrounds one of the fiends that got insnared and finished it off. Also decides to finishing off that creep, and the Undead has to play it really careful. He stays together to this Hall of the Dead that just finished upgrading, which he enables him to have a second first tower right now, and is also trying to finish this spot to get a really nice item out of it. We quickly look at this. This is what I actually told you. When these skeletons get through, you will at least lose 1 or 2 of your workers at your expansion. He found an Ankh of Reincarnation and he sold it immediately. And I think it's a good decision, because he will need a lot of money for the strategy he wants to put on. Nice deal with the bolt here, almost level 3, and we see that the defense is already finished. And this is a fight that you don't really want to take as an Undead player. And for that reason, Yalone instantly TPs out, calls his fiend so that he won't lose it, TPs out and is safe right now. He's now building a slaughterhouse, additional fiends as well, and his lich for the frost armor, I guess. And this is also a nice thing for Yumiko. Right now, whoa, this footman escapes with a really low amount of health. But I guess the Shredder might be able to block the skeletons or kill them. This Shredder is really nice for Yumiko. Right now he's building additional towers. He's not having the mill right now. Right now he's building it. As soon as your expansion finishes, you can go to your main base and fast build this lumber mill, because you will need it for the guard towers later on. And what's also important, we see that the night is almost over. As a human player, you know, okay, the Undead player is tier 2 already, and you know that his Lich was in production, because you have been here in this location and you have actually seen that it's all building. For that reason, and for the reason that you know that you are up against Fiends, you know that he will go for the borrow like sooner or later. For that reason, always get the Dust of Appearance as long as it's night, because you will need it. You will definitely need it. And I had games where I didn't have the dust and he is borrowing like 3 or 4 fiends. They all regenerate quite quick, and together with his statue it's like so strong. So for that reason you definitely want to get the dust in the night. As soon as you retreat from the main base of the Undead, if you finish harassing or if the night is not already over, just go to the shop really quick, get the Dust of Appearance, and also if you have enough money, get Boots of Speed and Staff of Teleportation. So we will continue the replay. Yumiko is doing quite a good job. We see that he's also power building his lumber mill, like I would recommend it to you, and he's not teching yet. This is also a biggie. He could have been teching, I guess he had enough wood for quite some time, but he decides to go rather safe than sorry, and for that reason I would also do it like he did it. Always, after finishing your town hall, build your lumber mill, then get a few towers in place at your expansion to secure it, and then decide to tech. We also see that he found sentry wards here. This is a really nice spot to creep. You also get replenishment potion and stuff like that, so you should always go for that. Maybe you find some nice illusion which you can scout with and stuff like that. The Undead player decides to creep his DK to level 3, finds a Tomb of Experience for his Lich most likely, and the nice potion of greater healing. So DK level 3 already and Lich level 2. Because the human knows that he will have quite some time, and with the power of the sentry ward he will know whenever the Undead approaches like this kind of area. He feels safe enough to actually creep the mercenary camp, which gives him right now, where the night is over and the day starts, like all of the 4 mercenaries you can hire there. We also see in the main base that there will be some towers and still no teching going on, so I highly recommend you to get enough towers in your main base and your expansion if you are afraid of getting pushed with meat wagons anytime soon.
A player's forces are under attack.
So we continue with the replay. We see at least 3 guard towers here, at least 3 guard towers here. Also the masonry upgrade, which is just great and fine to have to be safe against the push that's about to come. We already see the first statue out, we see frost armor level 3 DK like I told you, and no TP, so this could be a weakness. He could actually go for the focus on the DK, yeah, and he might be going for that one. He's actually surrounding this one with his defense footmen that tank quite a lot of damage there. Soaking up the damage is really nice. Also dispelling the frost armor with his troll shadow priest here. Pulling militias, you should always pull militias towards this fight, because you cannot really fight it with your militia, with your footmen only, and also hire all the creeps that you are able to hire there. But this fight is not looking all too well for him, because these fiends are way too strong. Together with the frost armor, the melee units cannot really do all too much. For that reason he's pulling back. He's also pulling back his militias, his creeps, everything. Still no tech here. Ah, not right now. He just got the lumber from the shredder. He started to tech. He feels safe enough due to the fact that he got a few towers everywhere, like in his main base and also here. Also at his expansion. Right now, I guess what he wanted to do was staff to his army and then heal them with the Scroll of Regeneration, but for some reason he cancelled that Staff of Teleportation. But he got the shop in place, and this is also a thing that I would highly recommend to you guys. Get a shop early on, because you will need it sooner or later, and it's really important to heal up your units again. What we can see here is that Yumiko knows that there's no way he can be defending this, because the fiends are too strong, his units are too weak, and he's placing himself in a really good position. Whenever you feel that you are not strong enough to handle this army here and your expansion is not in a threat of falling anytime soon, go to cut the reinforcement from the Undead, because in Warcraft everybody rallies their units to their heroes, so he knows that the units will be rallied here, or rather here, and for that reason just stay in this location here and wait for reinforcements like meat wagons and so on, because one meat wagon will not be enough, and for that reason he went for that kind of thing. He also started creeping with the rest of his army, and what we can see from Yalone, because of the creeping that he did early on, like freeing this kind of laboratory, he's now able to get the Zeppelin, which keeps his meat wagons alive. And now he got 2 meat wagons, he stays at tier 2, getting a second statue, more fiends, he's already at 54 supply, and this town hall is getting in really red HP bars. And he has to take a fight anytime soon, Yumiko, if he doesn't want to lose that. We pause here real quick, because what's interesting is, when the night is over and the first day starts, you actually can get like the healing scrolls, and you should definitely do that against the Undead army. What we will see, like right now, is the Undead is in a really nice position. Last Refuge is quite familiar for most of the guys, but for them that are not familiar with, we see very narrow position. This one is very narrow. You don't have a really big like area where you can attack from everywhere, because you're quite safe at the trees and also here, and pulling militias takes quite a long time to get them there. And for that reason you have to approach this fight from different angles. You should have your militias already in place, and then you come from the other side, and then you actually sandwich the Undead. And what we also see from Yumiko here, he was afraid that he might be falling for this push and might like lose the game like really early on, and for that reason he decides to go for more barracks. He adds 1 more barrack to be able to use all of his resources to get enough units out to prevent this push to be successful. You should only do that if you see that the Undead stays at tier 2 and commits to this push like really heavy, by also hiring the Augur Mauler. And just take a look at it. Send 1 footman there if you see that he's not attacking and that he stays at the Hall of the Dead. Definitely commit to a second barracks and get enough footmen out to prevent that this push will kill you early on. So we continue this replay, and we see out as soon as the fight breaks out that he is about to focus one of the fiends. Immediately used the frost armor also, and a really nice coil to save this fiend, and the Zeppelin will help him a lot to keep his units alive. We can see that he tries to prevent like any kind of bolts and dodge the bolts with loading the units in the Zeppelin, and right now even the defense is not able to deal with this. And right now we also see level 3 Lich, which means he will have the level 2 Nova, which is just great against all the small units you're bringing to the table, like footmen, militias and stuff, and also against the repairing units that we can actually see here. So the militias arrived, they were sent behind the towers for some reason, and right now he also got the tier 2 at the expansion, so he's also able to call militias at his expansion. This is also a nice kind of strategy that most of the Chinese players do. They take their expansion, though they are able to call militias at both of their locations. So right now the Undead tries to attack the town hall. You don't really have to go for the towers as the Undead player, because the towers are so far in the back. You can directly aim for this. And right now we see what I told you guys. He tries to approach this fight from 2 different angles at once. He's pulling militia right now, really a lot of militias coming his way. And what we also see is like he's coming with the army from the other side. 2 priests, 1 berserker, and he's uploading his meat wagons. We see the focus on the fiend, and he already used the dust scrolls, otherwise he would not be able to see that one. Nice focus on the next fiend here. He's trying to focus him down, and also pay attention. We can quickly pause this replay here. What you should do is definitely, with the units that can attack air, you should try to get rid of the Zeppelin. With the units like your footmen, you should actually try to surround maybe the Lich, maybe the DK, because he's quite red HP and there's no potions or nothing on them, besides the Zeppelin that could actually save the heroes right now. Or you just try to aim to kill any kind of fiends. But what you should have do in this kind of situation is focusing multiple kind of targets, because it's A, really hard to prevent everything from dying, and B, for the Undead you have this coil especially, and this just enables you to save at least 1 unit, but you cannot coil 2 units, so it will be really hard to micro. And what I would also recommend you, as soon as you see the opportunities of getting rid of the statues or the meat wagons, like either one of them, try to get rid of them, because the statues A, really heal this whole army and keep them alive. The sustainability that comes with statues is just unbelievably great. So if you're able to surround the statue and kill it, do so. And if you're able to get rid of the meat wings, which pressure your base really hard, then even do that. So I would say priority is getting rid of the meat wagons A, then next priority is getting rid of the statues, or even get to the heroes. But the meat wagons are the big threat right now, and the meat wagons combined with the Zeppelin is a really strong tactic. I guess we will continue the replay from that, so let's go. Let's see what Yumiko is trying to do here. He's focusing nice, he's surrounding 1 statue here. He was not able to kill that yet. Pulling the Shredder as well right now. The Fiends are dying left, right and center. There are already 2 Fiends lost. The Undead is losing here quite some amount of units. He's already pulling back the Malicious because he thinks that he's quite fine in this fight. He already also used the healing scroll and is focusing the second Fiend now. Borrow comes in place. He didn't really have to use this kind of dust because he had a Sentry Ward close by. And what we can see here is he sees that he got a lot of red HP or orange HP units here, and they would all die by retreating because there are still some coils left. Also Nova most likely will be left soon due to the fact that he got mana regeneration from the statue. So he retreats to his main base as it seems. Or I cannot really see where he's retreating yet.
A player's
Let's
forces
take a
are
look.
under
Yeah,
attack.
he's retreating to his main base. And what he also did and was kind of smart, whenever you build a shop close to your main or close to your expansion, this is like the first target the Undead goes to, because this is like all your healing, all your stuff that keeps you alive. So Undead players always focus the shop first and then aim for the keep. Or when the towers are in a different location than they are right now, go for the towers first and then kill the keep. So first order, kill the shop, then kill the towers if they are in place, and then go for the keep instead. And yeah, as a human player, I think this is a great idea. He got the 2 Rex Footmen and the Aken Bolt like in the middle of his bases. You could also build it like here. So this enables him to go like between bases and also heal up every now and then. Let's see what he's up to. TPing out, the 2 meat wagons are still alive, and as I mentioned before, the Zeppelin is also still alive. And we see the focus on the repairing workers here, and also the Shredder is being attacked right now. We will take a quick look at the Undead base. He's not doing anything so far. He's pulling one of his acolytes as a repair acolyte for his meat wagon and statues, and is replacing it with another acolyte in his base, also getting the second statue back that he just lost due to the fact that he got surrounded by malicious. Human player Yumiko healing up here, getting the Blood Mage second. I can only recommend you, if you go for the Mountainking, always add the Blood Mage, even though it's hard to micro him sometimes because he is like a low HP unit and dies really easily. He's still a great addition to the Mountainking just due to the fact that he can use his mana drain on the Undead heroes and also give a lot of mana to the Mountainking. So this army is quite scary. We got 5 Fiends, an Ogre Mauler, 2 statues and 2 meat wagons that are kinda untouchable due to the fact that he got the Goblin Zeppelin, which he's repairing even with his acolyte right now. And this is kinda back and forth. Whenever he has the time, the other player tries to kill one of the workers, which he should be also doing right now, right? Which gives you some HP and also takes some of the repairing rate away. Nice, really nice loading here with the Zeppelin. The Zeppelin is just really great. You can see how much power comes with the Zeppelin. And this is just for the creeping that he did earlier on when he got his Förster in place. What you can also see is like here, he's focusing with the anti-air units, the Zeppelin, but he's not able to kill it yet. And right now he's draining the mana from the DK. He's still got 200 mana, but he's losing it. And now the meat wagons are kinda out of place, and the Mountainking with Bash is able to do quite some damage to the meat wagons. And I think this one should actually fall. Yes, it falls, and he's going for the second meat wagon. No, he lets go of it and seems to retreat from this kind of location. This is like for the human player a really intense situation, because you have to think about, will I pull a militia? I'm just tier 2, I just finished tier 2 attacking. Do I do like 2 sanctuaries to go for the breakers? He's not doing anything of that. He used to get like a lot of mercenaries, also healing up his footmen and getting a lot of footmen every now and then, using his militias from his expansion and having the shredder to get enough wood. We see that he already got like 1,900 wood almost. And yeah, the Undead heroes, they're still, like, before that the DK had about 200 mana. Right now he used quite a lot of it, and also the Blood Mage drained a lot of him, so he's running out of mana anytime soon, even though he got 2 statues. This is great for you, because as soon as the mana is out, you can definitely get rid of the Fiends, maybe even of the Lich as well as the DK. And we see how important this one Acolyte is, the one repairing Acolyte that could repair the meat wagons, can repair the statues, and also that Zeppelin. It's just really important. And I can only give the hint that always try to do as much damage to the keep that you can. Also aim at it with your Fiends. And right now this is dangerous for the Undead players. There's no TP, no mana, but the Zeppelin is still strong. Standing strong, they're able to pull units away. That's just great. Yalone is doing a really good job here of retreating, not losing anything, even though the Mountainking got like so much mana. And this is also a nice position here. He can easily fight in this position, I guess. Oh, we see a bolt on the Acolyte. Finally, he gets rid of it. Would have been a lot of important to get rid of it earlier, and we see level 4 DK now. Blood Mage getting low. Like I told you, it's really hard to keep track of this guy because he's dying so fast, low HP, and also really slow, and sometimes clumses up by the movement. And he loses his Blood Mage. And this situation that turned out to be just fine for the human, and he thought it's just fine because he started attacking again, and he's also getting an Arcane Sanctum. And the underplayer also decides, okay, this push is doing enough for me. I got like a third statue, I still have one meat wagon. I might be not able to finish this at tier 2, so I decide to go to tier 3. And this is, I will pause here also real quick, this is also something you should notice in underplayer. As soon as you see that the human is actually tier 2 and get the Blood Mage, you could be afraid that he will be using Sorceress against you, and also like all the units you are able to get like out of your Arcane Sanctuaries. So for that reason you should definitely start tagging, when the human hits tier 2 you should definitely start tagging to tier 3, because otherwise you could not be able to deal with the threats that are coming, and for that reason fall to the human. But what we see is now focusing the towers to make it easier to kill this expansion. But we see another bolt here. Frost armor immediately used on the Fiend. I guess he will keep it alive versus Zeppelin. You can see how much value the Zeppelin just gives to you. And he's not able to get rid of it anytime soon. Yeah, the situation is not great for Yumiko. He's trying to keep alive here, builds the first sanctuary, now moving the statues a little bit bad into the towers, but everything is still okay. Blood Mage is back on track, he got a second Arcane Sanctuary at his main base, and now he's able to produce breakers that are really good against fiends and also statues and heroes at this stage of the game. And I guess the underplayer will be retreating here, leaving his statues a little bit out of place there. Also the Blood Mage is going for the shop. I guess he will get another dust, yeah. Like I told you, against the Borrower you will need the dust. And as a third hero we see the Dark Ranger. This is a great hero to have, especially if the human is going tier 3, so it's really good against the Paladin. And also Silence Mountainking is also not as good as he is when he can actually use Stormbolts. So this is not looking all too good for Yumiko. He also got the second Masonry upgrade that you should get as soon as you arrive at tier 2, which gives you unit, not your units, which gives you buildings a little bit more armor and makes them a little bit tougher to kill. And also the human arrives at tier 3 right now. We see one meat wagon shooting from somewhere. Ah, here it is. And Destroyers arrives also at the field. And this is really dangerous. You only got 3 towers and we see Destroyers already on the field. I guess Yumiko knows that he has to go there for the fight right now, otherwise his expansion might be falling anytime soon. He got 64 supply against the 59 supply of the Undead player, which is already researching the Disease Cloud, because as soon as you see Breakers and you arrive at tier 3, you actually want the Destroyers against the Sorcerers that might be coming, but you want the Abominations with the Disease Cloud even more against the Spellbreakers, because they do so much damage, soak up a lot of damage, and they're just a great addition to your Fiend army. Guess we will have another big fight here. He's also calling the militias again, trying to send a few militias at the meat wagon every time he gets out of there, but the Zeppelin should be able to save this statue at least. It was a little bit slow there, and the Blood Mage is trying to focus the Zeppelin, pulling back his militias, Undead also pulling back his units. Doesn't really have to fight there, like, he could also go like for some kind of retreat right now, creep the whole map. He also got a Sacrificial Pit, which gives him the opportunity to get his Shade right now. And what he needs is the Orb, yeah, and he got the Orb. Together with the Fiend, your focus is so strong that you really need this Orb. And we also see Destroyers with mana right now. He just got the mana from the statue. That makes it a lot easier to kill all these footmen. So with the Destroyers you should focus the footmen, and with the Fiends you should focus the Breaker. But what we can see here is the Undead is going for the Mountainking, because you see there's no potion, there's nothing on the Mountainking, and this Mountainking will most likely die. Yes, even though he had the potion of invulnerability on his Blood Mage, he was not able to hand it over to the Mountainking, and this looks really grim for the human player so far. The Undead is doing quite a good job, even though he's in danger there. He still got the Zeppelin. The Zeppelin is the MVP of the game already. And we see a Paladin coming out for the human player, and still a lot of units are still alive. We see he's pulling back his army to the one side and his heroes to the other side. I think he should be really careful to not lose his Paladin there, but he's staying there way too long, banishes it, He can instantly dispel the banish with the destroyers, and he's not able to secure his paladin. But both of these fiends could actually die. Yeah, one of the fiends died, and the Undead player right now is at 42 supply, lost quite a big amount, a big chunk of his army. And this is the part where the Undead most of the time thinks like, okay, this game is getting a little bit out of hand, even though I killed both of the heroes. I just got my heroes, my DK is really red, my army is really small, and I don't have an expansion yet, so for that reason he's trying to keep himself alive by creeping, get high level heroes, because high level heroes could be able to fight off bigger armies due to the fact that you got this really nice nuking skills from the Undead Coil Nova and also the silence against the Paladin, so he's not able to heal the heroes in time. And he also got a Book of the Dead that he could be selling right now. I'm not sure if he will keep it. I guess the money is worth more for him. Or even sell it and get an Invo Potion. Not sure. For now he's keeping it. His Lich is also on a good way to level 5. We see this Dark Ranger at level 2 and almost 1/3 to level 3. Mountainking is being revived. Takes quite some time to get all his heroes back. Yeah, and we see the 2 statues, 2 destroyers, 2 fiends, and I guess he will be aiming for an expansion anytime soon. He is also getting the web upgrade against griffins that could be on field soon. And for some reason, Yumiko decides to go for the control magic upgrade. This upgrade gives you the opportunity to control enemy summons. The only summons there will be are these little skeleton warriors, and I'm not sure if you want to take them over because the destroyers can easily dispel them. Yumiko decides to do some creeping. This is kind of risky because he has no TP on his heroes, but he still decides to go for it because he will need the level 5 Mountainking and also some levels on his Blood Mage. So he also got like the upgrade where you can see invisible units, and right now the Undead is in a really good shape, having 4 destroyers here with mana, not losing one of them to the towers, focusing the towers down really easy, and this is the last defenses he got at his expansion, and all these workers are already so low, he's losing all of them, and the Lich arrives at level 5, level 3 Nova, the Mountainking is also level 5 right now, and the Blood Mage is level 3. But I guess that Yumiko knows that he cannot really take this fight because his army is not strong enough and he doesn't really have anything against the destroyers. So he decides to abandon this kind of base, even though it's his tier 3 castle building, which gives him the opportunity to produce like griffins, knights and stuff. If he loses that, he will not be able to produce these kind of units. And yeah, we have to say that Yalone was able to like succeed in this push due to the fact that the Zeppelin had like so much free reign, because there were like no units that could actually like kill the Zeppelin, and for that this push was really strong. And I think Yumiko could have handled it a little bit better here and there, because losing his Mountainking at the mercenary camp when the fight broke out was a really big thing, because if he could have like kept it alive, there were like nothing anymore on the heroes of the Undead, and he could have easily killed the DK, which had like 200 hit points or so. So losing his hero there was a big thing, taking too much damage on his heroes and not able to have an invulnerability potion, even though the shops were already like cleaned and he could have bought like quite some stuff. Was a big mistake from him, and this is like the fact why he's actually losing the game right now, or in a losing position here. See that the Undead is still doing some creeping, getting his expansion in place because his gold mine is already run out, and yeah. As human player, you want your Paladin to go at least up to level 3 to have level 2 healing, and we also see the Rune Bracelets, which is a great item against the Undead nuke. And the Undead also decides to creep. I guess we will quickly forward this replay. They are both creeping a little bit here and there. We see that the Undead player got the stronger heroes, because he got 2 level 5 heroes, and the human player just got 5/3/3. So we got a shape. And for that reason he sees the human player, knows what he's up to. We see griffins that have been queued before the tier 3 castle fall, I guess. And as an Undead player, let's quickly pause again. As an Undead player, you see in this situation that we are having right now, the only unit that can actually keep everything alive is the Paladin. And the Paladin got a Divine Shield, he's level 3, which means he got a level 1 Divine Shield. And level 1 Divine Shield wears off quite soon, so for that reason, whenever you can, you should focus on the Paladin. Then he has to use Divine Shield, and as soon as the Divine Shield runs out, you just nuke him. That's pretty much what we have to do, and though Yalone is playing this really smart, putting enough pressure on the Paladin so that he has to pull back. He's not using his his Divine Shield yet, but now he's using it because he knows he's getting too much damage. Lucky as he is, he got this cute replenishment potion which gives him some regeneration for free. I guess he should use it sooner or later, and he got 3 Griffins, the Shredder couldn't fight, and a cute army there, 60 supply, 59 supply for the Undead player, but we see a Frostworm coming his way, and this is also a huge and a really huge addition to his army. A lot of DPS coming out of this guy. Even so, it can still be like easily killed by all the bolts and bolt banish, also the Griffin damage, all combined. This is just great for him. But the destroyers keep track of the army as well as the shaders. And we can see the destroyers can easily kill this footman. They cannot really do shit against it. He has still got no anti-air. And we see he's also focusing the Paladin again. Like I told you, get this guy low, make him use his Divine Shield. As soon as it wears off, kill him off. As soon as you kill him off, you have free reign against the other heroes, because we see there's just an Invo potion on the Mountainking and a small potion of healing on the Blood Mage. And this looks really grim, even though he's able to nuke one of the fiends down immediately. The Book of Dead pays off to be really great. He still focused the Paladin there. On the other side, we see the Blood Mage in danger, falling there, being staffed out. And Paladin not silenced anymore, using his Holy Light on his pal Mountainking. Another Holy Light, and we see the Bolt is really doing some work. I guess the human should retreat right now. He should not fight without his Blood Mage, and also his Paladin is quite low, but he continues fighting. Retreating would be the best way to go there, because Divine Shield is wearing off right now, and as you can see, as soon as the Divine Shield wears off, you should actually snipe this guy, and as soon as he's down, there's no more healing for the Mountainking. Even though he got a Rune Bracer, there's no way that he can keep this guy alive against high level Undead heroes. And we also see the nice use of Death Pact. You should always use Death Pact against the Mountainking, because you will need that additional help that you get from this Death Pact usage to keep your heroes alive. And we see that the Mountainking falls due to the fact that the poor Paladin guy died before. He's able to keep his DK alive. A really close game. If the DK dies, it would be a totally different story, I guess. The Lich is still being surrounded, and the destroyers cannot really attack the Spellbreakers. For that reason, the surround should stay close here. And the Lich should die. Yes, and he finally is. The Black Mage gets level 4, but both of his heroes are still dead. He's not reviving them yet, because he's not having the money. I'm not sure how he will be able to get any money. Like, he can only sell the Dust of Appearance, which won't give him enough money, I guess. And what we can see for the Undead, he's supply boxed, and he has to build like 2 additional cigarettes to get back his Lich, but this still looks really grim for the human, because he's not able to get his Mountainking back, and also not his Paladin. For that reason, I will just quickly forward this game. And as I mentioned, there's no more expansions, nothing on the field for the human. Humans actually selling the dust, and there's enough money for the revive, and for that reason we might see the Paladin coming back. But the Undead realizes that and is actually just hitting the altar, which is not safe because the towers are not really in place to defend it. And I guess he will be able to kill the altar in time so that the Paladin will not revive. We go to 8 times speed right now, and as we can see, the Blood Mage is not doing enough damage. Yumiko will quit here, and the game is over. Really sad. I think Yumiko did quite a few things right, but also a few things wrong, like I mentioned it, and also not killing the Acolyte before that repaired the Zeppelin like 2 or 3 times back to full health, which gave him the opportunity to have such a big value out of that. It was just a great thing. But I want to point out something that we already spoke about, and that I already spoke about to you in the do's and don'ts sections of this kind of guide. So I wrote down some do's and don'ts for the human against undead, especially on the map that we saw and concerning about the matchup, and also the unit composition that we saw colliding on that map. So for the do's, I would highly recommend to you guys reshot defend for your footman against the fiends, because you will definitely need it. Buy some dust for your heroes, and also buy boots for the heroes, because it will really be important. And because of the dust, you will be able to get rid of the fiends even though they are borrowed. Build a shop at your expansion. I already explained that. It will be like really important to get back health on your footman and also on your heroes. And as soon as you arrive at tier 2, you are also able to get like potions there. So always keep a shop in place. Always keep a shop nearby so that you are able to regenerate. try to kill heroes and fiends in the early game. This is meant to be like especially for the Mountainking kind of game, where the Undead player has small units in the beginning due to the fact that he's attacking really fast. You are able to kill this small amount of units by surrounds and bolts and stuff. This is like the big strong factor about this kind of thing. And also try to surround heroes to get rid of the TP and get rid of the heroes at all. This gives you some additional time for creeping, for healing, also for preparing like the next attack and stuff. So this is a biggie. Just try to kill fiends in the beginning and don't dive. And as we have seen it before from Yumiko, as soon as you see like that the Undead stays at tier 2 and commits to this push, get a second Rex. Use the second barracks to transition the gold advantage that you have from your expansion to a unit advantage, or at least be able to push him long enough away to get your blood mage in place and also your Arcane Sanctuaries to get like breakers and stuff and deal better with the push. For the downs, like we saw it, like not in this game, but actually you can see it or feel it yourself when you play. Sometimes Undead players decide to put a lot of pressure on your Mountainking or your Archmage earlier on, use the rod, send both of the skeletons to your hero and even use the coil on your hero. Don't take too much damage on your hero. It was like Yumiko did it in this game, and I think you can like scroll backward to it and look again to it. He was like being in place, not creeping, not really doing anything. He was gathering footmen before he decided to go for the expansion. And this is really, really important because you don't want to take damage on your Mountainking so that you are not able to take this expansion or even lose your hero in the early game. You don't want that to happen because this delays your expansion. And due to the fast tech of the Undead, this is like a really strong factor, and he will have meat wings in place even before you have towers, or even before you have like, I don't know, like defense and stuff. So keep good unit control for your heroes and don't take too much damage earlier on. Don't fight in the Undead base, even though you sometimes feel really, really strong and that it's an advantage to go and kill like some fiends or so. But if you kill a fiend and lose like 2 or 3 footmen in the process, I don't think that it's worth it. So for that reason, don't really dive. If you're not like feeling all too well and know that you can back this up with like unit and towers and whatever it is, don't dive to the Undead base, even though it looks like really cool for you sometimes, and killing a fiend now and then might be a good thing. I don't mean like, you can also go for like boots and stuff, boots on teleportation staff, and go in the Undead base, nuke down like 1 or 2 acolytes and TP out with your telestaff. But this is a different story. This concerns more about not losing your units due to the fact to kill a fiend or something like that. And we also saw like Yumiko was doing this, build towers before you actually go for the attacking, because you will need like some backup defenses to fall into so that you have enough time to regenerate your footmen, regenerate your health, your mana and stuff. So for that, always build towers before you expand actually. Otherwise, you can easily be killed by a push that comes to your base and you are not prepared with towers. You cannot really heal up, you cannot have enough time and room to regenerate, and that's just a really big downfall if you lose due to that fact. And what we have also seen in this game, don't focus units that you cannot finish off. Because if you decide to go to the Fiend, as soon as the Lich arrives, you have like Frost Armor for the Undead player. And if you aim to kill Fiends, even though you're not strong enough, let's say you have like just like level 1 Bolt and a few Footmen, and you aim for this Fiend and you surround it and everything is perfect, but he got Frost Armor at level 2 Coil or level 1 Coil, and he keeps it alive like as long as he can, and you are not able to kill it off, you just lose so much stuff in the process. You might lose like 2 or 3 footmen there, and this is just totally not worth it. So for that record, I would only recommend you to go there, kill fiends if you feel strong enough to actually kill this fiend off, and then maybe retreat. If you think you are fast enough, do it. If you think, or if you have to rethink it, actually don't go for it, because most of the time it's not worth the hassle, and for that reason I would not recommend it. And yeah, we are at the end of the guide. I hope you guys enjoyed the guide, and I think I hope there's like some insights for you and some interesting stuff. If you have any kind of questions or any kind of comments about this kind of guide, or what you would like to look for in another guide, or what you like and what you don't like for this guide, so just leave some comments below and I will like look into the feedback of this and try to implement it into my next guides if you want to see some of them. I'm not sure. So for that reason, I thank for you guys for tuning in, and I think or I hope that you had quite some fun here, and I hope to see you on my stream soon on Twitch or somewhere else. And make sure you follow my channel here or follow me on Facebook so that you will be up to date. So stay tuned and thanks a lot. I hope you had some fun, and bye bye.